Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Maria Raza from APSACS 7 Streams. Dear listeners, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to know about governance, government in Pakistan, democratic system of government. We will be discussing organs of federal system, constitutional development, comparison among the three constitutions of Pakistan, 1956, 1962 and 1973. Besides, we will be discussing the government's the leadership from 1977 till 2018. Dear listeners, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to understand the democratic government in Pakistan with the organs of federal government. Secondly, discern the comparisons among the constitutions and evaluate the political leadership from 1977 till 2018. Let us flesh back some of the ideas of the previous lesson. I will call the air and you should cogitate about the events about the happening in that year. 1905. Yes, partition of Bengal. The next year, 1906. The first event was Simla deputation. The second one was the establishment of All India Muslim League in order to strengthen the demand of Simla deputation. 1911, link it with 1905. Let us say the annulment of partition of Bengal. 1914, some sort of war, the inclusion of other countries. Yes, World War I. 1920, Treaty of Sèvres. Okay. Formally starting today's lesson, the first topic is governance and government in Pakistan. Governance, the term is the way the people rule, the decisions and actions of people who rule. Whereas government of Pakistan is concerned, so the nascent state, they state that its ideology was based on Islamic terms, came into existence on 14th of August 1947 as a democratic state based on Islamic terms. Democratic system of government. The term democratic is composed of Greek words demo and kratos. Demo means people, kratos means rule. If I simplify the definition, the term democratic for you, so dear listeners, democratic simply it can be defined as the ruling, the regime, the power from the people, by the people, for the people. From the people means the person who is elected belongs to us. Secondly, for the people, the person who is elected is our leader. He or she will work for us. So it means for the people. And secondly, by the people means who elect that person by our vote. So it means from the people, for the people, and by the people. This is the simplest definition of democratic government. Now, organs of federal government. Pakistan is based on parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government, I will make you understand this system in the subsequent slides of constitution. The three organs of federal system are legislature, executive, judiciary. Now, this is the point where I should clarify the federal system and central system. Central system was the demand of Gandhi. That was the system in which the provinces were not having any power. The ultimate power lied with the center. Whereas federal system is the antithesis of central system in a way that the main power lies with the center. If you take the example of Islamabad, whereas the rest of the provinces, they are having their integral part. They can also play their role. They are important. They are the decision makers. Now one by one, legislature. Legislature means the law-making body of politician. Now who makes the law? The parliament. Parliament composed of two houses. Parliament of Pakistan is called Majlis-e-Shura. It is composed of two houses. The upper house that is called Senate and the lower house is the National Assembly. Executive is composed of the people, the ones having the authority, the responsibility for governing the state, and it includes the president. President is the head of the state. Prime minister. Prime minister is the head of government. And lastly, the cabinet. Cabinet means the team of advisors for the prime minister. And the last one is judiciary. Judiciary is the judicial system of court for the purpose to administer justice in the country. It is made up of different court system. For instance, the supreme of all is the Supreme Court. Initially, it was established by Jinnah by the name of Federal Court. But on 2nd March 1956, the name was replaced by Supreme Court. Then Federal Sharia Court, here the ulama are considered to be the judges, and its rank is equal to High Court. It was established in May 1980. The third one, High Courts of all the provinces, then district or session courts, and lastly the magistrate court. Now the constitutional development, objective resolution. Dear listeners, while putting a step in any new class, do we need rules? Yes, wisdom says rule is the foremost thing that should be present in life. So now Pakistan, the new state, it also required some rules, and that rules should be based on some aspects, some touchstones. Now, for instance, on 7th March 1949, the lawmakers made some rules. They gave those rules the name of objective resolution. And formally, the objective resolution was passed by Liaquat Ali Khan on 12th March of 1949 in the Constituent Assembly. Now, certain points I'm going to discuss. These points were considered to be the beacon light, the pathway for making the constitution, for making a proper rule for the Pakistan. For instance, number one, sovereignty of Allah Almighty. It means the ultimate power belongs to Allah. Secondly, there should be no law against Quran and Sunnah. Number three, equality, justice, and brotherhood should be exercised in Pakistan. Provision of religious freedom, religious liberty. Everybody should be having fundamental rights, the basic rights. And lastly, free and independent judiciary. It means judiciary, the judicial system should be superior over all the organs of the country. Now the constitution in Pakistan. Pakistan in the beginning suffered abysmally in a way that within 8 years the nascent state was without any constitution because the first two reports were failed, were criticized. As a result, finally Pakistan got its first constitution in 1956, second constitution 1962 by General Ayub Khan, the third constitution by Zulfiqar Ali Bhutto in 1973, whereas the first constitution by Iskandar Mirza in 1956. Now the comparison among the three constitutions of Pakistan, the first one, semi-rigid constitution. Semi-rigid constitution means that, for example, the lawmakers who are sitting in the assembly, if they want to make any law, then if 2/3 of the members, it means out of every 3 members, if 2 members are willing, are voting in the favor of that law, of that bill, so that bill will automatically be changed into law and become the part of that constitution. This is called semi-rigid. Whereas the constitution of 1962 is rigid. Rigid means although the lawmakers, the member of National Assembly, they are willing, they are voting in the favor of that law, but that bill will not be changed into law without the consent of president. The approval of president is mandatory here in the Constitution 1962. This part makes the constitution rigid constitution. Whereas the 1973's constitution, once again in the light version of 1956, it is semi-rigid constitution. The second part, 1956 constitution, is parliamentary form of government. As earlier I said, parliamentary form of government is the form of government in which cabinet and the prime minister, they are responsible. and Prime Minister, along with the advice of his cabinet, makes law. And the two are responsible, the two are accountable for the actions. Secondly, in 1962's constitution, presidential form of government, here Prime Minister is not the supreme power, rather President is having the sole authority. 1973's constitution is also just like 1956 constitution, that is parliamentary form of government. Number 3, direct method of election. Direct method of election means the common masses voted for the elected members. In 1962, indirect method of election. Indirect means that the President General Ayub Khan made the basic Democrats. Basic Democrats means 80,000. 40,000 from the East Pakistan, 40,000 from West Pakistan. In election, only those 80,000 people were supposed to vote. This is called indirect method of election. 1973, once again the common masses will vote. So it means direct method of election. Now the next point, the fourth one, unicameral system. Uni means one, cameral means house. It means one house. One house means only National Assembly. 1962's constitution, unicameral, National Assembly. 1973's constitution, bicameral, bi means two. Two houses in a way that the upper house, Senate, the lower house, National Assembly, the two houses. So we can say that Senate came into existence, the concept rose in Pakistan from 1973's constitution. In the start, like in case of National Assembly in 1956, the number of seats for the member of National Assembly, it was 310. 300 general seats, the 10 seats specified for women. 150 for East Pakistan, 150 for West Pakistan, 5 for women in East Pakistan and 5 for women in West Pakistan. In 1962's constitution, 162 seats. 162 seats in a way that 56 seats in general, whereas the remaining 6 seats, 3 for East Pakistan for women, 3 for women of West Pakistan. 1973's constitution, it was based on 210 seats. 200 general seats. General seats means men can be the member for that seat. Women can be the candidate for that seat. It means any person, regardless of gender. So 210 seats, 200 general seats, 10 specified for women. Later on, this 210 seats became 237, and before till May 2018, it was 346. But after the 25th Amendment, after FATA merger, when FATA became the part of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KPK, then the number of seats of National Assembly from 342 became 336, and the number of seats in Senate from 104, it became 96. The seats from Senate and National Assembly were decreased. Such seats were increased in the Provincial Assembly of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in order to compensate the merging of FATA. Now the next point, the name of Pakistan in 1956 constitution was Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Same was with the case of 1962's constitution as well as 1973. Sovereignty of Allah, it means the ultimate power belongs to Allah Almighty. No law against Quran and Sunnah, fundamental rights, this point is same in all the three areas. Free judiciary in terms of 1956, 1962 and 1973's constitution. Whereas the age of president in 1956 constitution was considered to be 40 years. 1962's constitution 35 years. Whereas the current constitution, 1973's constitution, allowed for the 45 years age of president. The languages were Urdu and Bengali in terms of 1956 and 1962's constitution, whereas it was Urdu in terms of 1973 because it was after Pakistan lost one of its wing in the form of East Pakistan, and only with the inclusion of West Pakistan. So West Pakistan means Urdu. Besides the establishment of institutions in the form of National Finance Commission. National Finance Commission composed of the Federal Finance Minister and Provincial Finance Minister who will discuss about the resources, about the wealth distribution regarding the different provinces. And Council of Islamic Ideology with the purpose that the ulama should observe that either the rule which is made in Pakistan, either they are concomitant, they are according to the Islamic ideology or not. Now the last topic, government and leaders from 1977 till 2018. 1977 election was conducted by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Total seats 200 seats. Out of 200, 154 seats were secured by Pakistan People's Party, whereas 38 seats were achieved by the other parties by Pakistan National Alliance. Pakistan National Alliance, we can say that nine parties. Nine parties, let me exemplify here. Muslim League, Tehreek-e-Istiqlal, Khaksar Tehreek, National Democratic Party, Pakistan Jamhuri Party, besides we can say Jamaat-e-Islami, and such other parties that made nine parties, and the inclusion of nine parties made one party an alliance by the name of Pakistan National Alliance. Pakistan National Alliance lost in the election. They accused the election in the charge of rigging, and they demanded re-election. Bhutto he said that there would be expense. So in order to avoid that situation, he avoided the re-election. In order to crush the rebellion, in order to smoothen the situation, Ziaul Haq imposed martial law on 5th of July 1977. 30th December 1985, election was conducted by Mr. Ziaul Haq, and the person who became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, he was Mr. Junejo. The pictures that you see on the left top is Ziaul Haq, whereas the next picture is of Junejo. From 1988 till 1990, election was conducted on 1st December 1988. As a result of that election, for the first time, a lady, a woman, by the name of Benazir Bhutto became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Ghulam Ishaq Khan became the President. Whereas on 6th of August 1990, there was dismissal of Benazir Bhutto's regime due to charges of corruption and nepotism. Corruption because of her husband, and nepotism because of her mother, because she was the senior minister, and Benazir Bhutto's father-in-law, he was the chairman of the parliamentary committee. 1990-1993. Once again election in 1990. This time Pakistan Muslim League, and in the form of Nawaz Sharif, he became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and Ghulam Ishaq Khan is President. Now this time the government of Nawaz Sharif was dismissed because of the scandal of cooperative society. Cooperative society located in Punjab, almost 7 lakhs of Punjab residents, they saved their money. They invested their money in that society. Unfortunately, that society loaned all the amount, the major sum of amount, to the Nawaz Sharif's family business. This was ill reputation to the society, plus the ill image of Nawaz Sharif. Besides, there was disagreement between the President Ghulam Ishaq Khan and Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on the appointment of Chief of Army Staff. These were the causes for the dismissal of Nawaz Sharif. 1993 till 1996, once again the second regime of Benazir Bhutto started as Prime Minister. This time Farooq Ahmad Khan Laghari became the President of Pakistan. And in this second regime of Benazir Bhutto, what was the cause behind her dismissal? It was the charge of corruption on the Asif Ali Zardari, and secondly the family feuds. Family feuds, Mir Murtaza Bhutto, because Benazir's mother wanted Mir Murtaza Bhutto as the chairman of Pakistan People's Party. This was the bone of contention between the two. 1996 till 1999, once again, Nawaz Sharif's second ruling period started. He as Prime Minister, Farooq Ahmad Khan Laghari as President. But this time, Nawaz Sharif's government was dismissed because of the plane hijack case. Plane hijack case in a way that on 12th of October 1999, when Musharraf was coming from official visit of Sri Lanka to Pakistan, at that time, Nawaz Sharif he changed the chief of army staff and he dismissed Pervez Musharraf. This thing was something reluctant for Pakistan to accept. So this was the point where Nawaz Sharif did not allow Musharraf's plane to land. Musharraf, in the last hours, contacted with the Pakistan army. As a result, Pakistan army just took the position of Jinnah International Airport, Karachi. Finally, Musharraf's plane landed. There was a case against Nawaz Sharif. As a result, even the Supreme Court called this this event of Nawaz Sharif something unconstitutional. So, Supreme Court just announced life imprisonment for Nawaz Sharif, but due to intervention, due to interruption of Saudi Arabia, that life imprisonment was changed into exile to Saudi Arabia. And now, 2001 till 2008, General Pervez Musharraf is president. Zafarullah Khan Jamali became the Prime Minister of Pakistan till 2004. For 2 months, the temporary Prime Minister was Chaudhry Shujat Hussain, and finally Shaukat Aziz became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This was the period when Pakistan's economy was on the boom regarding economic aspect. 2008 till 2013. Now, election was supposed to be held in 2007. Everybody was engrossed in the election campaign. Same was the case with Benazir Bhutto. Unfortunately, that lady was assassinated on 27 December 2007 in Liaquat Bagh, Rawalpindi. Due to this incident, this tragedy, the election was postponed till February 2008. And finally, as a result of that election, Asif Ali Zardari became the president, Yusuf Raza Gilani became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. 2013 till 2018, Mr. Mamnoon Hussain is President of Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif is Prime Minister of Pakistan. You can also see that the third picture is also present here, the third man. The third man is Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. Later onwards 2016, he became the Prime Minister of Pakistan because when the case rose up regarding Panama, with regard to Nawaz Sharif. So this was the point where Nawaz Sharif was dismissed and replaced by Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. As a part of assignment, add up your vocabularies, have a note of that, including from pages 94 to 102. Part 2, search on internet and find clause in the Constitution of 1973 about child labor and education of children. Let me clarify this part. The Constitution consists of articles, clauses, sections, parts. Now, while searching on the internet, you should search that part of a sentence which is about child labor and education of children and write it down in your notebook. And lastly, compare and contrast the constitutions of 1962 and 1973. And I'm looking forward to having your responsible assignments. Wish you best of luck. Thank you.